Welcome to an all-new Blitz. I'm Brian Carter here at Habersham Central High School on the Lady Raiders softball field with head coach Stephanie Thomas. Stephanie, I've had you on many times, and I always appreciate your time here on Blitz.
Thanks. I appreciate you asking me.
Yeah, and now you're a dozen games into the season already. You're 7-5. It's a respectable record. You're 3-5 in region play. Kind of talk about this first season in Region 6-6A.
Well, like I was talking to you previously, we're kind of odd man out right now. We're trying to figure out where we are, where we belong, but it's really not much different. The teams are very competitive, and we're just still trying to take one game at a time and one team at a time.
Now, you got off to a great start, though, much like you did last year. This year you got off to a 4-0 start. That had to be pretty exciting. Talk about that and the way that the offense has performed this year. I know you've had 6 games where the offense has put up 7 or more runs.
Yes, we opened up at a tournament, which we usually do every single year, and we do that kind of as a warm-up. We were successful down there. Our bats were really hot. We were swinging really well. And that helps us prepare to get ready for the season.
Now, Stephanie, this is your 11th year in control of this program, and I know the history of the program doesn't go very far back, and you've really put Habersham Central on the map with softball. I know 7 of the last 9 years you've had a winning season, 3 20-win seasons, 3 trips to state, a Sweet 16 appearance. It's amazing what you've done with this program. You got to be happy about the way it's turned out, and I'm sure it has a bright future ahead of it too.
Well, I appreciate you saying all that, and thank you. We work really hard. I've got a great coaching staff, and the kids have that's the difference in the program, wanting to win, wanting to strive to get better, putting all the hard work in there, and it just makes you proud of what you do when you get out here and work with those kids.
Yeah, and winning is contagious, and it's a habit too if you get into it.
It is.
Talk about this Region 6-6A. I know it differs a little. You kind of hit on being the odd man out, so to speak, but how do you feel that 7-6A was able to prepare these girls to play in this region now? You did hold your own for the 2 years when you moved up from 4A to 6A. You went 26-26, I believe, so you were still able to compete there.
Well, the difference is they're both very competitive regions. The difference is in 7-6A, you had 3 or 4 teams that were always at the top, dominated not only our region, they dominated at state. They were generally the 2 that were competing for the state championship. Now we've got more teams that are in the competitive hunt. Instead of maybe a 1-3-4, it goes 1-6, 1-7. So that's a little bit of the difference, and it's very close. And this year we've got something a little bit different where we don't play a region tournament. In all the years I've been coaching, we've always played a region tournament, and so that's a little bit different for the coaching staff and for the girls as well. And
I'm glad you mentioned that. No region tournament this year, so it makes it that more important, all the regular season games. And like you said, it's a very competitive region, top to bottom pretty much. And I know right now you're sitting in 6th, and there's still plenty of time to go. But, what is it that this team needs to do to take one of those top 4 spots?
Well, we've got to become more consistent with our bats. We do hit the ball well when we hit it. And teams that play us know that, and like I said, we've got some really great hitters, and we're good on defense as well. But the consistency and the way we play from game to game has got to improve.
And you talk about having just a solid lineup, top to bottom, a great group of girls, and again, this is just a fantastic program you have here. And looking at the past, I mean, do you see a resemblance when you look at some of those state tournament teams, for example, and look at the team you have now? Do they have the makeup to do the same thing?
They definitely have the makeup. It's just in their mindset, and they've got to. It's a decision. I can make the decision that I want them to do well, but they've got to make that decision that they want to do well. We can have a great practice, but it all depends on how we're going to come out on game night, and that kind of goes back to the consistency. That I've told you that we've got to have, but this team definitely has that makeup. We can definitely get there. We have just got to, be consistent with hitting and score some more runs.
All right, last question for you, and then I'll let you go. But, every team has some expectations, and again, with your program's track record and making winning a habit here in this program, I'm sure you have lofty expectations for yourselves. What are some of those goals that you set early on before the season got underway?
Well, that's a good question. The great thing about this team right here is, for the most part, they were here all summer working together. That has solidified and unified them a little bit more than maybe some other teams. But the goals that we have are generally we want to take one team at a time, one game at a time. We don't want to try to get ahead of ourselves, because when we do that, we seem to kind of lose aspect of what's happening. So our goal is to take one game at a time, see where we go from there. Of course, we want to make it to region, and then we want to make it to the playoffs again.
Yeah. Well, Stephanie, I'm definitely counting on your team competing all the way to the end, as you always do, and I really appreciate your time on Blitz, as always, and looking forward to see how the season ends up.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Now, don't go anywhere. We have two of the Lady Raiders coming up here on Blitz, Jessica Traylor and Hannah Adams, two of the seniors on the team.
No matter what the occasion or how big the achievement, everyone deserves an award. Look no further than Bob and Ted's Trophy in Clarksville. Trophies, medals, plaques, and more. It's what you need when you need it. Family owned and operated since 1974, Bob and Ted's has been rewarding the community for nearly 40 years, offering quality service at competitive pricing, all done with a speedy turnaround. Get what you need when you need it.